Okay, after ranting for about 20 minutes last time, I decided that we should actually get started coding. So the best way is let's just jump into it. Um, I'm just gonna start by creating a new component, similar to some of the other ones, and we're gonna just go ahead and play around with it and see if it works. So right now we have this partial, which consists of HTML, CSS, and then a JS file that you could just toss into a directory. And so, hello world. That's our classic computer science entry program, right? So let's go ahead and see if it worked. Cool. What do you know? Stuff got rendered here. Okay. Sweet. Now the CSS looks all messed up for some reason, but we can go ahead and figure out why that's happening. Okay, cool. Blah blah blah. That looks like a bunch of crap. I don't really care about. But you know, if we do font size, some PX, I think it's gonna work better. Yeah, see, yeah. So we know that this is rendering now. Let's make it bigger. Let's change the color to red. Just for one more try, in case you're not able to see that. But so if you look here, awesome, great. That's rendering. That's beautiful. All right. So now, what is the what also this allows us to do is collapse multiple of these partials into one, and then boom, it goes and spits out our HTML. However, dynamic data, how do we do that? In this case, I want to update the copy on my website. So to go here and change my copy. This is a bad pattern. You should not have to update markup to update text, like, right? It should be stored in some sort of data, file that's easy to modify for file data. And the way that's done on the web is with JSON. So we should be solving this problem with a JSON file, I think. And that means, so what am I trying to do? I want us to be able to read a JSON file and parse it into our HTML text. So I want to render. So what do I render? So what do I want to do? I want to be able to like dynamically render. Okay. Just use the third place space parameter of JSON specified. Format the JSON. Use the pre-tag. This looks like jQuery. It's because it is. I don't want to use jQuery. It's I was going to say a heavy hunk of mess, but compared to React and some of these other new web frameworks, it's pretty lean. However, it does not fit our requirement of being web native. So that is out the door. Let's see. Junk. Hey, man. This stuff is junk. is render JSON. We don't want another library. This is the problem. We have to create a native solution. So, nah. Okay, how to render a local JSON file into this. Okay, sweet. I think this is kind of what we're looking for. But let's build our file here. This is the title. So ultimately what I want is this to be this. Or sorry, to contain this. Right? It maps to this title field somehow. We're going to figure out how to do that. Inner HTML. Let's see. So we're going to need a JavaScript file. And let's just make sure this runs. Okay. Then let's just go ahead and call this here. This should just execute itself on the, I guess, stack. I don't even know if that's correct. Just making shit up. Alright, cool. Alright, let it execute it. It's in our console. So, we also can run JSON or JavaScript very easily. So we can split up our partial to have its own CSS, HTML, and JavaScript. And now we're trying to add on a configuration file of sorts. In this case, a JSON file. This is going to be very tricky. The most tricky part. So let's see if we can just get some JavaScript to like render out on the screen, right? That would be ideal. And this is ultimately what, React and the likes are doing. So I really don't want to reinvent the wheel here, but let's go ahead. Okay, so it grabs an ID and then it places this. Okay. So let's make sure and grab our ID. So here we're calling the DOM to get this div, this section element, and we are going to render data here. So, okay, so we're grabbing the inner HTML and we can arbitrarily put our own. So in this case, we want to put, So I don't know if we'll be able to import the file, right? So let's just go ahead and declare our JSON here. This will be easier to work with for now. We'll figure out how we can try and separate it by file at a later point in time, but at this point in time, you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay. I'm just gonna call it title. Okay, sweet. This is gonna be our element. I'm just gonna make it an H1 for now. Okay, so we just need to do a plus. We're doing some string concatenation here. string concatenation element is going to go in here, and then we are going to see what happens. Cannot set properties of null setting inner HTML. So why is this null? So it can't get this element ID, I guess. Does this not have an element ID? It does. Tester TESTER. What happens if we just console.log this element? This is another problem. We have to render this, so that's kind of annoying. It's null. Why is it null? Get element by ID tester. Okay. This is freaking annoying. I'm doing something probably pretty wrong here. So this is null. I mean, is there even a document to get? Let's see if we can even, get a doc. AKA the DOM. Oh, beautiful. Awesome, it's here. Get element by ID is not working though. Why is it not working? Stink. Let's see if this works. Stink. Awesome. Let's do this. It's null. Why is it not working? It's freaking dumb. Be careful how you execute JSON's page. So the DOM hasn't loaded, so we need to okay, right. So we just need to God, JavaScript is so stupid, but we have to do this, I guess. want like some sort of simple like if statement that I could just plug in, you know? It doesn't need to be that complex. We can try this. It'd be nice if it just worked like that. So when this, we want to execute this. Just don't really know what that does. I assume what's going to happen is when that element is loaded into the DOM, it's going to run the method. Okay, sweet. Now it doesn't do anything because well, let's do this. On the window element, sweet, just do this. We definitely don't want this if we don't need it. Should be purely JavaScript. Alright, sweet. And it still doesn't fucking work. Use window onload to wait. I mean, that's what I think I'm doing. Am I not doing that? Window onload, we're calling our function. In this case, maybe just nothing. It's just so stupid. Wow. That works. Okay, that's just JavaScript at its finest right there. As soon as you remove the brackets, it's golden. And we're going to grab this because we want to replace it with our new h1 tag. So what I think is going to happen is change my copy is going to be replaced by this is the title. Let's see if I can see into the future. Boom. Straight up goated. Okay. Now what? So now we have a method, a way to render a JavaScript object into we can now render a JavaScript object into our page. Okay, that's great. So what we don't want is what we should do is make these smarter. Replace me. And then this is going to be a replacer. So we want to be able to map certain things. Can we do something with the mapping? If we map an ID right? Because what we want to do is ultimately right. So then, let's see. In this case, like we just want to render text into the element. So we don't want to drop in like an actual HTML element. We want to drop in text. Let's see. In this case, we want thing data dot title. All right. So we want to work backwards though. We want to grab the key and then do a lookup by the key. And then if we console.log it, it'll be an array of one item. From there, you know what? I'm just gonna do this terminal here. Even though I love me some. Oh my god. Source items. Okay. I know some weird shit. Cool titles there. Okay. So for key in my keys, and I think in is wrong because JavaScript. And then we actually want to do this. That key. And we want to grab the value of the key. Okay. Get key. I think it's of. Let's try this. I don't want to print anything. Definitely don't want to print anything. Fortunately, I'm listening to Drake. Love it if I could just play it, but you know, copyright and all that. Uncaught reference. Text is not defined in the world. That's cool. That's because it's defined here. Text. This still needs to go above. Key. JSON value by key. Okay, so this is our object rule. I get it. Okay, so we're gonna just do that. That makes sense. Okay. This should just work. Now we're like iterating through our map. In this case, our JSON object. I'm gonna just go here if I want to do this on the line. This is the title. Okay, it works. So now for arbitrary amount, we can map them here. And it's kind of beautiful. Now for things that don't have a tag, it might get a little finicky. Might get funky. In that case. I mean, stuff that needs a span. Whatever. We'll just write that in plain HTML and CSS, or we'll just plain HTML if we need to. It doesn't really matter to me. Okay, so now we can iterate through our thing. This to do import from of file. Okay. So now what I want. So what we're gonna want is then we want this index file, whatever gets rendered, to then be, well, whatever gets rendered to be, to be outputted into a new file. So let's figure out how to do that, right? DOM write get entire HTML object DOM. Get the root HTML element. Let's see what this does. Maybe text. Let's see what this does. Because, like, we do want this. Then we want to save this to a file if we can. No, you can't really do that. Huh. I want to get that HTML. There you go. So now we want this printed to a file. So So I want to be able to open a window. Dude, come on. In this case, I want this file for now. Now let's run our Python script. Okay. So now what? Okay. Okay, so we open the file, the JavaScript dumps it into the console, the file contents in the console. What we ultimately want to do is be able to get that content here, like as some sort of like return type. Let's say like we were able to get that, like that text back. And we can just go ahead and save this. We can go ahead and save this. And then we're good. JavaScript. Write to file. You can create files in the browser using Blob. What is this crap? What the fuck is wrong with these people? Man, dude. I just don't understand. I don't know what this is gonna do. Apparently creates something you can download. Text file is not defined at hello world. Alright, text file is provided. She said she wants a mod. Okay. I don't need this because that's not really a thing. I only have it once. Shit, I want to cancel that log it. Not print it. Wait. Won't you? Huh? I can like grab this? Ooh. Michael Jackson. Wow. So now I need to be able to pass this URL back to my Python script, and then I can go ahead and download that. Download that from Python. Here we go. Alright. I'm gonna stop. Figure this out tomorrow.